Welcome to Ole Walls House. It's me. It's your man. It's your main man. It's Ole Walls. And I'm back with you for episode 217 coming your way. Before we get into any of that, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Appreciate all your support. Appreciate all your watches, all your listens, all the feedback. So thank you, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the pod still. I really do appreciate every bit of support you guys give me. Thank you. As always, if you could, please rate, review, comment, subscribe, and share. Let everybody know Ole Walls House is the place to be. If you're looking to get some Ole Walls House merch, you can check the link in the show notes below. You can also find some merch from my buddy MJ and the Full Range Pod in there. And you can find the Full Range Pod on Spotify. It's also now on Apple and at the Ole Walls House YouTube channel. So don't forget to check my guy MJ out. We got a nice, fun, full show for you. We got hockey. We got basketball. We got golf. We got my passing thoughts. I almost said passing takes. We got the WBC coming up. This is an Orioles hat. I have not changed allegiances. Still a Cleveland Guardians fan. It's just a cool hat. I used to go to some Orioles games back in the day, so you had to have a little bit of merch when you went. So cool hat. So that's why we got that. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Nico Echeverria is your winner at the Cognizant it's the Cognizant Classics in the Palm Beaches now. The Cognizant Classic, formerly known as the Honda. He played at PGA National. This tournament used to be really tough. I mean, you'd see winning scores at like 9, 10, 11 under par. I'm going to look this up as I'm talking here. But hang on. I can't do two things at once. Let's just be realistic. I mean, I'm going to just be totally focused on the Cognizant Classic. And something just hit me. Something always hits me when I think of this. Yeah, I mean, shoot, you go back to, let's just go like 2000, we'll go even 2010, because that's the highest score in that time frame. Camilo Villegas, 13 under. Then you go 9 under, 12. That 2012 was a fun one. Rory was getting chased down by Tiger kind of on the back nine. That was fun. Then 9, 8, 6, 9, 12, 8, 9, 6, 12, 10, 14 in that 21, 22, 23 as, you know, the real length revolution was starting to jump off. Didn't even get that high, but it's kept sneaking up the last couple of years. 17, 19, and then 17 again this year. And it's also lost some of the star power that used to come to it. And there's more changes on the way for the PGA Tour schedule, it seems. I'm going to put that kind of discussion off, hoping to have a players preview and kind of stated golf discussion coming up, just working on some scheduling. Hopefully we'll have the boys in for that. But you used to get a lot higher names. I mean, if you look back, like I said, you look back to the winners. I mean, you go just back it up to like 05. I mean, Padraig Harrington, Luke Donald. And Luke Donald was close to number one in the world at that time. Mark Wilson was a little bit of an aberration. Ernie Els, that's Y.E. Yang. Yang Young-U. Yeah, Y.E. Yang. That was the year he beat Tiger at the PGA. Camilo Villegas in 2010. Still a big name. Rory Sabatini. Rory McIlroy. Michael Thompson sneaks in there. I mean, you're always going to have some guys who aren't quite the up-and-comers that you always think. But Russell Henry, Padraig Harrington, Adam Scott, Ricky Fowler, Justin Thomas, Keith Mitchell in 2019 playing a good stretch of golf. And then coming out of 2020, you get Sung Jae In, but then it gets a little weird. Matt Jones, Seb Straka even, Chris Kirk. But I mean, the last 3 years, Austin Eckroat, Joe Highsmith, Nico Echeverria. I mean, there are two tours on the PGA Tour. There are the elevated event weeks, and there are everything else. And this has fallen into that everything else. And it seems, just, you know, quickly, it seems like we're headed to more of the elevated and then everything else becoming a little bit more separated even. And I don't know if I love it. I know you get a lot of the better players playing together every week, but then you get a lot of off weeks. So, and I mean, you go back and look at the runners up in some of those other years, like Jeff Ogilvy, Boo Weekley, Camilo Villegas was a runner-up, Luke Donald as a runner-up, Anthony Kim as a runner-up in 2010, Tiger, Jeff Ogilvy, Rory, Daniel Berger, Sergio, Gary Woodland, Brooks Koepka, Ricky Fowler in 2019. Like, it's just a different bunch of people than Austin Eckroat, Minwoo Lee, Eric Van Rooyen, Joe Highsmith, Jacob Bridgman, JJ Spawn, Nico Echeverria, Shane Lowry, Taylor Moore, Austin Smotherman. Like, those are two very different levels of golfer that you're getting. So, not to take away from anything, it was a fun tournament. Fun last like 4 or 5 holes. Fun to start. It was a fun day. It was a fun day. There was a point in the day where it looked like Shane Lowry had kind of up and got away from it, but he didn't. And Nico Echeverria cashes in with a quite the baller shot on 17 right after he finds out what we think he finds out, that Shane Lowry hit it in the water on 16. He hits it to 10 feet on that 17th hole. I mean, 15, 16, 17, 18 is where you make your hay. He played it 1 under. He didn't really knock the door down, but he made that big birdie when he needed to right after Shane Lowry's troubles. And the winner is not the story of this tournament. The story of this tournament is Shane Lowry. And Shane Lowry had this thing in the bag. Going to the 16th hole, he had 3 holes to play with a 3-shot lead, and he loses by 2. Obviously, like we said, Nico Echeverria makes the birdie. But Shane Lowry, on the 16th hole, hit maybe one of the worst shots I've seen a pro hit in a moment like that. It's up there. I'm looking at the overhead here, and I don't. That was probably a pretty generous drop they gave him as I'm looking at it. I mean, granted, this overhead's not, to be trusted, but water all down the right on the 16th. He started one right, and it never came home. It never came back. For a guy who's, I think of more of a cutter of the ball, just completely fanned it. Just left it wide open, kept it wide open, and it was bad. 200. He's hitting an iron on the 445-yard par 4, 16. Get it up there, keep it in play, knock it up around the green, make your par, get out of there. Get to 17, knock it, keep it dry, make par or bogey, get out of there. You got the finishing hole, par 5, 18th. Should be able to manage your way down the hole for a par, if not give yourself a look for birdie. And boy, oh boy, oh boy. Then his 4th shot pulls one into the bunker, makes an incredible up and down, great 5th shot out of the bunker just to save a double. Just phenomenal balls on the guy to do that. I will say that. Like, I'm not a fan of Shane Lowry, and this was quite the blow up. And I'd picked him this week. He's played this tournament well in the past. But I think the crazy thing to me was the starting line that he hit that ball on 16. And it's funny, as I was making my note for the podcast to talk about this, I wrote Lowry up 3, hits it in the water on 16. Only ball in the water all weekend off the tee. And I wrote, had to have missed his starting line by a mile. In our group chat, friend of the program, Jeff Slanovic, said something of the very similar. And I have to go back and find it. We were texting a lot. He texted, right as I was writing that, he texts, that had to miss his start line by 50 yards. Legitimately 50 yards is a probable, like a real number. It was so bad, and it was incredible. So he's up 3. He makes double. He falls back to 17. Echeverria has just made birdie. They're tied. He's standing on the 17 tee tied. He hits one on the par 3 17th that almost makes it to the water on the other side, which is out, or to the land on the other side, which is out of bounds. Like, never even sniffed the green. And I watched those 2 shots, and I was like, I hit those 2 shots. He makes double there and essentially ends his hope for the tournament. He has a chance on the 18th to hole one from the bunker. He gets it in the bunker in 2. But again, it's an 86-foot bunker shot. So, that's close to a 30-yard bunker shot. Not an easy bunker shot. Hits a nice shot to 10 feet. doesn't make the putt, but I mean, at that point, who cares, right? Like, he doesn't. He's thinking, get out of there. Now, I'm going to do this. Again, not a fan of Shane Lowry. Do not like him. Do not root for him ever. Even watching him blow this, and I had him in fantasy golf, I wasn't like, oh, damn. Too bad for Shane. I'm not a big fan of him. So I have immense respect for what he did after the tournament. He stood up there and took questions. He says, in quote, "I'm obviously extremely disappointed. I had the tournament in my hands and I threw it away. What more can I say? That's twice this year now so far. I'm getting good at it. Yeah, look, what can I say? I played unbelievable all day, and one bad shot on 16 completely threw me for the last 3 holes. It's never happened to me before." It's never happened to me before is a little interesting, but huge props to him. That was a gut-wrenching way to lose a golf tournament. He stood there. He took questions. He answered them like a real person. He didn't give snidey, snippy, bullshit answers. He stood up there and he owned it. So he went up a couple notches in my book. I will give him a ton of credit for that, because his buddy that he needs to win golf tournaments would have peeled out in the parking lot and not answered questions and then acted like we were all assholes for asking him about it the next week why he left. So, huge respect. Also, and listening to some podcasts this morning talk about Shane Lowry's career, it did get me thinking. It's like, what? His wins. He won the 2015 WGC Bridgestone Invitational. Big tournament. Won by 2 shots. He won the 2019 Open Championship in his hometown. Or home country. I don't know if it's his hometown. By 6 shots, Tommy Fleetwood finished second. Bubba Watson in the first. His only other win in pushing 7 years now was 2 years ago at the Zurich with Rory in a playoff. We talk about Shane Lowry like he's this great player. And I'll say his only other win in the world, other than that the 2-man event with Rory, was the 2022 PGA Championship, and they only played 3 rounds, and Rory and Jon Rahm were right behind him. I don't know what to make of Shane Lowry. Obviously, you take his career in a heartbeat. He's won a major. He's won his major, the British. Like, that's a big deal. But, like, there's not a lot else to show for a guy we may think of as this top-notch player. And it's an interesting thought process to go through about how good is Shane Lowry? Like, is he a dude? Because I don't know that we should think of him as a dude. And maybe we're putting an unfair reputation on him to think of him as a guy that should be the guy that we think should be winning all these tournaments. I don't know. Maybe we've just kind of overhyped him in our head, but I don't know. It's an interesting thing. Because, I mean, if you compare some other players to him, and that's what this podcast was doing, it was the No Laying Up podcast today, they're comparing other guys to him. It's like certain guy, I mean, I think one of them was Brian Harmon, who has also won 1 major, also has won the Open Championship. But you look at some of the rest of his career, like, it's very comparable. I mean, he's won 4 times on the PGA Tour, including the major win. Now, obviously, he doesn't have any European Tour wins because he doesn't play over there, whereas Shane Lowry does have those, which is a differentiator. But he's won much more recently. I mean, he's won twice since the last time Shane Lowry has. And it's like, if you told a lot of people, you'd be like, oh, Shane Lowry's an immensely better player than Brian Harmon, I think would be the general consensus. And it's like, maybe it isn't. Maybe he isn't. So, I don't know. I just don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting thought process. PGA Tour next week heads to Arnie's place. And then the Players Championship, also the Puerto Rico Open next week. So Arnie's place, everyone's going to bitch, oh, it's a terrible golf course. But usually puts together a fun tournament. So we get the good couple weeks coming. Arnold Palmer, the Players. Then we get a couple of down weeks with Valspar, Houston, Valero, Texas Open before we get to the Masters. That's 3 weeks where you may not only see of the top 20 guys, you may only see a combined 10 of them through that stretch. Maybe some more. It could be some more. Some guys might sneak in Houston. Which one do they always like to play before the Masters? I think it's Houston or Valero. One of them really cranks up it always used to crank up the green speed for Masters week. What happens in between RBC and Miami? Are they literally just off? They could just be off. Is that possible? Because if not, it would be 3 straight. Yeah, it's April 12th, then it's April 16th, and then it's not till April 30th. There's got to be something in between there. But we got a couple fun weeks of golf coming up. Like I said, I think that this kind of 2 different tours thing is this thing that's going to be happening to the PGA Tour, based on early reports out of what's going to be said by Brian Rolapp, the CEO of the PGA Tour, coming up here on Players Week. So we'll see what else happens. Just some other guys on the leaderboard. I've clicked away my leaderboard because, of course, some nice showings from some guys you like to see. Brooks Koepka, a top 10 after a bad day on Thursday. He's pulling the Scotty routine. He shoots 74 on the first day. It has to battle to make the cut, does so with a 66, goes 66, 69, 65. 65, one of the low rounds of the day on Sunday. I think it is tied for a low round of the day on Sunday. Professional golf will be more interesting with Brooks Koepka involved. I think some of that was very putter-based on Sunday. No, Sunday was not. Sunday, he lost strokes putting. 4.95 shots tee to green. That's impressive. Koepka, yeah. He gained a bunch of shots on the green on Friday, 3.94, while losing shots off the tee. But if you look at the whole tournament, he was his best statistical strokes gained stat was plus 1.09 strokes gained tee to green. So good sign for him. There was a little bit of a Max Homa sighting. Again, does kind of something similar to Brooks. 73 on the first day. Looking at battle in the cut, goes 66, 69, 67 on the weekend. Joel Damon, 68, 68, 68, 70, falls back a spot, but a top 10 for him. I believe he finished one spot out of the Aon Next 5 or Swing 5 that would have got him into the Arnold Palmer, which would have been nice for him. One single birdie for him on the weekend, or on Sunday. Birdied the par 4 11th. No other birdies, no bogeys. One birdie, 17 pars, but always good to see Joel Damon play well. The other guy I picked, Kashmir Keith Mitchell, goes 68, 73, 64, 68. What was Max Homa? How did his strokes gained look? How is he doing off the tee? Because that's something that had really just struggled. Plus 0.82. Not that's in the upper echelon of guys that made the cut. 1, 2, 3. Joel Damon plus 1.90 strokes gained off the tee, just driving it on a string. 7th for Homa, strokes gained off the tee of people who made the cut. So that's a big improvement. That's it's not all driver out there. You're kind of dialing it back, but that's a good sign for him. That was something that was really giving him a lot of trouble. Frankie Capan the third, dead last, strokes gained off the tee, minus 3.46. Lost 5 shots tee to green in his 2 days. That's pretty incredible. That's pretty good. All right, I'm just rambling and looking at dumb stuff. I think we can move on from the golf. Let's talk about my Flyers, shall we? Coming back off the Olympic break, Flyers dump one to the Caps on Wednesday. Felt like that was going to end the season. Definitely felt like the season was going to end as the Flyers headed to New York, but they get a goal in the third. Big Meech scores 2 goals in the game, and the Flyers win in overtime. And all of a sudden, there's hope. Just a smidge of hope. The Flyers go on Saturday, take down the Bruins, and the season lives on. There may not be a lot of hope, but you're telling me there's a chance. Flyers will play. They should be on about right now. They got the Maple Leafs tonight. Vladar in net. Maple Leafs, in kind of the same boat as the Flyers. 8th place in their division. Kind of a bunch of points back, needing a lot of help. 12 points. Last place in the division, 12 points back of the third place team in their division. Flyers just 2 points ahead of them. Again, 10 points back of the Islanders. So, you go over to the wild card. Only 6 back of the Bruins. 6 back of the Bruins. That was a good win for them. Got a couple of teams out ahead of them that they're going to have to jump over in the Blue Jackets, who've got a game advantage on them. But same amount, just one more point though. Senators, same amount of points, same amount of games. Bruins, same amount of games, but 6 more points. So it's doable. We're rooting against the Caps. We're rooting against the Blue Jackets. We're rooting against the Senators. We're rooting against the Bruins. So the Flyers are going to have to get hot. They've got the Maple Leaf tonight. They have the Mammoth, the Utah Mammoth. I don't like that they're the Mammoth. Why aren't they the Mammoths? Utah Mammoths. Mammoth might sound better. Maybe I do like that they're the Mammoth. Utah right in the playoff hunt themselves. Obviously not. Actually, maybe they're not in the playoff hunt. Let me get down to the wild. Yeah, they're in control of the wild card at the moment. They are always back in their division. 14 points back of the third place team, the Minnesota Wild. 35, 16, and 10, so 35 and 26, which is good in hockey. 80 points. That is by far the best division in hockey. I think, yeah. The Colorado Avalanche, 87 points at this point in the year, 39 and 19. That's some good hockey. Then the hated Penguins on Saturday. And the Penguins are really just kind of floating around in that second spot. Second, third. Them and the Islanders. I was going to say, I thought they were floating around like that third, kind of right on the line, but in good spot. And if they fell back to the wild card. But they're 6 points up on the Caps for the third spot. So they should be a playoff team. I don't know what the deal is with Sidney Crosby if he's back yet, but, winnable game tonight. The 2 tough ones coming Thursday, Saturday. Not quite a matinee on Saturday. A little 4:30, a little early evening for Flyers Pens. So Flyers are gonna have to keep it in gear, get it in fifth gear, and flip it into overdrive. All right, let's move on. The North Carolina Tar Heels, 2 wins on the week, 2 wins, still without Caleb Wilson. As of today, I believe it was this morning, or yesterday, Sunday, it came out that he was doing some individual drills, shooting, dribbling, was progressing nicely, has still not done any contact with the broken hand recovery. I don't know what that's going to mean to get him to Saturday. I don't know if you go from no contact on Monday. I believe he started drills and things on Sunday, and it was the same as of Monday. I don't know. I don't know in what world you go from no contact on Monday to playing Saturday at Duke in the last game of the year. Maybe it can be done. Everything I've read is he's been just ready to roll, just ready to get going. Come on, baby, come on, I want to play. So we'll see. Henry Vassar has stepped up nicely for the Heels the last couple games. But the guy who really stepped up, I believe it was Monday last week against Louisville, was Seth Trimble. Seth Trimble, the senior Seth Trimble. It'll be senior night tomorrow for him against Clemson. But last week against Louisville, the young man went for 30 points to help propel the Heels over the Louisville Cardinals as they triumphed in that one. And then Virginia Tech came into town looking to cause a little ruckus, but it was Vassar and Trimble again. 20 points from Trimble, 26 from Vassar. Jonathan Powell, they did find him a little bit in that game. 4 of 5 from downtown, 3 of 5 from the free throw stripe. Got to get him involved, spread the floor out a little bit. I mean, you look at everybody else to shoot. I mean, the next guy who took the next most attempted 3-point shots was Vassar, your big guy, who went 2 of 7. Bogovich still continues to boggle the mind. He can't, I don't know what's going. It's just not, can't get in the flow. So, I mean, somebody's got to be able to hit their three. We got to start hitting our threes. And Powell may be the guy that can help them do that. So that'll be big. That'll be crucial. Like I said, 2 games this week, final 2 of the regular season. Heels in 4th place in the ACC. No real way to catch. I think Duke pretty much has this wrapped up. Even if Duke were to lose their last 2 games, I think they have the tiebreaker over Virginia for the regular season ACC title. So I think that is wrapped up, and Duke is your regular season ACC champs. But the Heels have Clemson tomorrow. Clemson kind of right there with North Carolina, 21-8. Heels are 23-6, both 11-5 in the ACC. And then off to Cameron Indoor on Saturday. Don't love the Heels' chances. Duke has played very well since losing that game to them. They beat Pittsburgh. They beat Clemson. They beat the ever-living shit out of Syracuse. They beat Duke. They beat Notre Dame by 44 points. They handled Virginia. They're currently up 8, closing in towards the end of the first half against NC State right now. I think Duke wins it. I think Duke wins it in a big way, as painful as that is to say, especially if there's no Caleb Wilson. I think the only hope Carolina really has is Caleb Wilson comes back. He's able to be something of the guy we saw in that game against Duke the first time, where he just put them on his back and carried them. I don't know how you could expect that if he just got the cast off. He just started doing dribbling and shooting and getting back into it, has done no full contact. You can do all the just straight running you want. Basketball shape is a different kind of shape. There's, it's the quick stop and go, the quick cuts, the up, the go, now we're going. Okay, now you can kind of catch your breath. Oh, there's contact. You're boxing out. You're jump. Like, it's just a very unique set of conditioning, as are most all conditionings. But like basketball, I think is one of the most unique. Hockey's a whole different level of conditioning. But for one where you're going to have guys playing for long stretches where you're seeing them out there for in-game minutes, 10, 12, 15, sometimes 20 straight minutes. But, even if it's not 20, it's going to be 16 of 20 minutes, or a guy like Caleb Wilson could be closer to 18 of 20 game minutes. I just don't know what you can expect. And what would be his first game back, maybe having had a full practice under his belt 2 or 3 days. I don't know. It just seems like a lot to ask to go into the team that's apparently showed themselves to be the best team in the country. I know I said Arizona just 2 weeks ago or whatever, but it could be Duke at the same time. So, yeah. Anything else in college basketball? Let's see what else is going on in the top 25 here this past weekend. Any of the games I saw some of that Michigan State Indiana game. Michigan State did a nice job. Oh, geez, I didn't see this. Florida just absolutely dominated Arkansas. Arkansas still a fun team to watch. That's a lot of points. 111-77. That is a lot of points in a college basketball game. Arizona handles Kansas on Saturday. I don't know. Maybe Arizona. I don't know. Duke's looking tough, though. Texas Tech into Iowa State. Nice win there. Alabama goes into Tennessee, picks up a win. Saturdays. Houston just mollywops. Michigan, Illinois. I caught some of that Michigan, Illinois game. Michigan, a nice win there for them. I didn't see a Michigan State, Purdue. Nice win for Michigan State there. Florida scored some points, huh? 84-71 over Texas on Wednesday. Putting up buckets. Arizona went into Baylor. I mean, I could be calling Arizona one of the best teams. I mean, Arizona just beat Kansas, coming off Kansas. I saw some of this because this was on after the North Carolina game. Kansas had a nice win over Houston. Houston, tough couple weeks for them. Tough couple weeks for the Cougars. So what else we got this week? Oh, anything else good? Anything else good? I'm just scrolling here. I'm scrolling here. Championship week is next week. Remember that everything had a week? There was rivalry week. There's championship week. Big Monday. Oh, yeah. Kansas is like 41-0 or 49-0. Bill Self has never lost on Big Monday. Big Monday. Carolina. Oh, no, sorry. Vandy and Tennessee, also a ranked game on Saturday. Only 2 ranked games on Saturday. That's pretty wild. There is Michigan State at Michigan on Sunday. That should be fun. Okay, World Baseball Classic starts on Friday, I believe. Friday. I had to look all this up. They're all playing some exhibitions throughout the week, but Friday is when it all kicks off. USA playing Friday versus Brazil. They are in Pool B. Brazil, Great Britain, Italy, and Mexico, and the United States of America playing in Houston. It appears they should be able to get themselves out of that. Japan's over in a different one. Dominican's over in a different one. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I like baseball. I like to watch it. I like the guards. I watch the guards. I don't really know much else. But yeah, Friday they have Brazil. Saturday they host Great Britain. I'm just putting it out there. We should be able to beat Great Britain. I think we should be able to beat Great Britain. Just a hunch. Mexico on Monday, the 9th. Tuesday is Italy. And then Friday is the quarterfinals. Friday and Saturday. The semifinals are on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday in Miami. The winner will be crowned. Tuesday, March 17th. Cal Raleigh, Will Smith catching for the US of A, Alex Bregman, Goldschmidt, Bryce Harper, Bobby Witt Jr., Gunnar Henderson, Pete Crow Armstrong, Aaron Judge, Kyle Schwarber, Byron Buxton. Know some of those guys. Matthew Boyd. He spent a little time in Cleveland. Clayton Kershaw, retired. Team, retired/Dodgers is the team that Clayton Kershaw is on. Scooble Skeens. I think a good friend E said that Scooble is only going to be pitching one game. I don't know exactly what that means, but there you go. All right. Let's move on. Time for some passing thoughts. Let's start with some WWE. First off, AJ Styles retired. AJ Styles' retirement video killed it. We're back, baby. We are so back. We're out there with Creed. We're just rocking some Creed in that retirement video. I mean, god damn, took me back when we used to get some rock, some pumping, some can you take me higher? We were going. It was good. It was a good video. And I mean, you mix it. Creed. Best WWE promo videos ever. You're talking My Way, rocking Austin, running up that hill for Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, WWE My Sacrifice, or the WWE Desire My Sacrifice for the 770th time. Creed, if you've ever seen the JR thing. But yeah, the WWE production truck was cooking. Yeah, they were cooking with that one. It was a good one. It was pretty sick. They weren't done though. They said, "We see you with that Creed Creed retirement video for AJ Styles. We get to Elimination Chamber. Down in Chicago. Not in the usual Allstate Arena in Chicago. No. They went to the big show. They went to the United Center. And what did Chicago's own CM Punk walk out to? Well, yes, his traditional cult of personality, you may say. No, but before that, we went straight up old Bulls starting lineup intro. And they got the old PA announcer, right on the mic for him. It was sick. I mean, just those old Bulls intros are so awesome. And seeing that translated into something else I love in pro wrestling, it was awesome. Elimination Chamber itself, WWE, very right now. Like they are the product, the in-ring product, the storylines that they're putting out now, not cooking as much as the CM Punk intro and the AJ Styles retirement video with Creed. That's cooking. We might be on a light simmer. You know, we're reducing down some of the liquid in a sauce, maybe. It's not been firing all cylinders. It's not what it was 20 months ago, 24 months ago when we were trying to finish the story, and they gave us maybe some of the best 5 minutes of WrestleMania ever in WrestleMania 40 as Cody won the title. But Randy, I'll finish him off. Randy Orton does win the men's elimination chamber. Rhea Ripley wins the women's. CM Punk retains over Finn Balor. I forget what the other match on the card even was. I mean, 4 matches on the card. You kind of got to deliver. You got to give us your best. And I don't know. It was okay. It was okay. Seth Rollins revealed as the Masked Man. I know what happened. Don Hoosen, Whizzle, Bizzle, Bizzle. Who gives a fuck? That was horrendous. I guess I've heard the name. I've seen the face. I didn't realize how small he was. He dances to the ring. I mean, I don't know, man. It's not. That's not what I'm looking to see out of my professional wrestlers. 6'4", carved out of stone. Randy Orton is what I'm looking for out of my professional wrestler. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker, Kane. Give me those guys. I don't need a dancing fake vampire. Don Hoosen, Don Hazen, Rosenbaga. Yeah, I don't know. That wasn't for me. That was not for me. You know what else is not for me? Wendy's is closing 400 stores. I believe there's some sort of, trying to rebrand, maybe doing a new menu. I mean, they put the wrong lettuce on the Junior Bacon Cheeseburger the last time I got one. I mean, Wendy's is going to shutter 5 to 6% of its stores nationwide in the first half of 2026. Oh, hang on. There you go. Fast food chain operates 5,969 locations in the U.S. as of the end of 2025, meaning 300 to 600 stores will be impacted by the closing. There's also something I saw about maybe a rebrand to the menu. Where'd this go? I saw an article, and then I was like, "Ooh, I need to save this article," and then I obviously forgot to save this article. Wendy's drive-thru window smash. 3 Trenton women still at large. Okay. Well, yeah, okay. That's all right. Yep. Okay, we're gonna move on. We're just gonna move on. Wendy's closing. I mean, damn. Peak Wendy's, though. Like, early 2000s to like 2012, 2013, 2014. I mean, Wendy's was cooking. I mean, Junior Bacon Cheeseburgers were awesome. You could get that little thing for your keychain to get a free little mini Frosty with every purchase. They had these chicken Caesar wraps that were smoking good. Not so much. Not so much. It's gone down. And a junior bacon cheeseburger is $3 now. Those things were 99 cents. Inflation. It's got the best of us. Inflation has got the best of us. Ooh, this also not good. My Green Bay Packers, not a good assessment from the player surveys. Where the hell did that go? Rich Bisacca taking the special teams job at Clemson. He was definitely asked to not come back. Oh, come on. Now I've lost the thing. They have gone down in facility weight room and things like that. Give me a second. I'll find it. I thought I had this, and now I didn't, and I've got to go back through. Here we go. Overall report, Green Bay Packers dropped 7 spots to 21st overall in this year's report card. The steepest year-over-year decline of any team. The drop is driven largely by the decline in ratings for the training room and training staff, which now rank in the bottom third of the league. And they're always hurt. We should pay attention to that. Players report a lack of space and outdated recovery equipment, along with lack of communication and trust in the training room. These issues are a top priority players identified to be addressed. Players report that the team does not provide game day childcare, as most teams do, contributing to the bottom third ranking for treatment of families. The team's nutrition program similarly ranks near the bottom, with players wanting to improve nutrition plans and more nutritious food options to better support these plans. Head coach Matt LaFleur dropped a full letter grade this season and ranks second to last in the league in respect from players. Not ideal. Not ideal. Quite bad, actually. Quite bad. We don't need that. We don't need that whatsoever. Quite bad indeed. Did I save that tweet somewhere, maybe? I don't know. Bookmarks. Maybe I saved the tweet. I didn't. Why would I? Not good things happening for my Green Bay Packers. We need to clean it up. We got to step up our games. We got to be better. You can't be falling behind. I think field conditions were another bad one, and training room facilities. Like, field conditions, you know what? It's cold in Green Bay. They're still using grass. Like, you got to be better. But, like, can we build a better training room, weight room, athletic, whatever you want to call it, recovery room, whatever you need to call it? Like, be better. You have to be better about that. Oh, last night. I laid in bed. And, you know, the first time you lay in bed, like, nothing's right. The pillows aren't right. The covers aren't right. You got to adjust. You got to roll. You got to fluff up the pillow, pat her down. Just get it right. You got to get everything right. I laid in bed, and it was perfect. I put my head down on the pillow. I pulled the covers up. The dog wasn't hogging all the covers. The roommate wasn't hogging all the covers. My pillows were placed correctly. And I just went, oh, so nice. I could get used to this. It was just wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. Oh, just absolutely fantastic. This was my bedtime. That was the opposite of fantastic. So the roommate's gone the other night. I'm home alone. I go to bed. I'm kind of cold. You know, the dog's kind of sleeping a little away from me without two people in the bed. He's not like shoved right up in between us. So I don't have the dog seat. I don't have another person seat in the bed. I'm just kind of cold in general for whatever reason that night. And I think to myself, you know what? The roommate's blanket, we each have, you know, the sheet, comforter, and then 2 blankets for each of us over top. So it's like, I'm going to take my blanket. It's bigger. I'm going to throw it out over top of all me. I'm going to take her blanket. I'm going to throw it under the comforter around my legs. I don't like to sleep in pants. I don't sleep in socks. So I'll throw that blanket on my legs and feet, and I'll stay warm in there. Ooh, I was toasty. Nice and toasty. The thing was, I get hot throughout the night of sleeping. The longer the night went, the hotter I get. And I woke up at about 4 a.m. the next morning, and I was just like, I could just feel the sweat like coming off me. I was just ripping off blankets and throwing everything. Oh, What was a good idea at 10 o'clock at night was not a good idea at 4 a.m. No siree. No siree. And we'll just end on this. We'll end on something I enjoyed. Watch the first episode of the Scrubs reboot. They put out 2 episodes week 1. Watch the first one. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much so. The first episode, it felt like Scrubs. It felt like the first 8 seasons of Scrubs. The 9th season of Scrubs did not happen. That's a different thing, and I believe they're ignoring that. We got the little moment of last 5 minutes with the music playing. I'm going to give you your life lessons. We got the stupid jokes. We got the stupid quips. We saw everybody we needed to see. I liked it. I'll be watching more. I've already got the second one recorded that I'll watch. I've got the rest recorded for the rest of the run of the 8 or 9 episodes that this is. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to watching more. I think if you like the original Scrubs, you'll like this one. That's all I got. Sometimes you can just like something. And I like this one. So, all right, let's go close it up. Closing time, everybody. Just want to say thank you to everyone. As always, I appreciate your support, appreciate your watches, appreciate your listens. Thank you to producer Kevy, as always, for helping us get started on video. Back next week, more golf, more hockey, more basketball, World Baseball Classic starting up. Spring training's going for MLB. Regular season's right around the corner. NCAA tournament is right around the corner. Hoping next week, either as part of the regular episode or as a second episode, maybe. If I can get as part of the regular one, that's my goal. Have a players preview and kind of a state of pro golf, see where we're all at with everything. Just got to get some scheduling figured out. And, more passing thoughts and all that good stuff. So, till next week. Oh, and don't forget to check out MJ, the 4-inch pod over on Spotify, now on Apple Podcasts as well, and the Ole Walls House YouTube channel. Till next week, peace!